What's going on, everyone? It's Spectre here, bringing you the third video in this top 10 underrated series. If you enjoy this video and think my content is deserving of it, please be sure to subscribe for more content, and as always, comment down below with your thoughts about this list. Take a look at these Pokemon appearing on your screen. Notice anything familiar about them? Of course you do! These are some of the most popular fire Pokemon in the game. Instead of looking at these bad boys, today we're going to dive into the top 10 underrated fire-type Pokemon. Starting the list off at number 10 is MAGCARGO, a second-generation fire and rock type. Now, I guarantee someone's watching this video and they're like, what the heck is a MAGCARGO? MAGCARGO is currently in the PU tier of competitive battling, the absolute lowest tier that there is. Its fire and rock typing allows it to strongly resist fire, resist bug, fairy, flying, ice, normal, and poison normally, and makes it weak to fighting and rock, and makes it very weak to ground and water. This means that it has 7 resistances and 4 weaknesses in total, which is a pretty good ratio. MAGCARGO's base stats are passable on the whole. Its most notable stats include a whopping 120 in defense, 80 in special attack, and 80 in special defense, for a total of 430 after a largely unknown 20-point base stat boost it received in Gen 7. MAGCARGO's best ability is Flame Body, which grants a 30% chance to burn the opponent if it uses a contact move against MAGCARGO. Don't forget, burns not only hurt the opponent each turn, but also lower its attack stat, which is very valuable. MAGCARGO also has an absolutely amazing move pool. It has access to Stealth Rock, a crucial field hazard move, Lava Plume, a same type attack bonus or stab fire move with a 30% chance to burn the target, Toxic to poison the opponent, Ancient Power, a stab rock type move with a 10% chance to raise all of MAGCARGO's stats by 1 stage, Recover to instantly heal half of its health, and it also has access to Shell Smash, which instantly boosts MAGCARGO's attack, special attack, and speed by 2 stages with no drawbacks if it holds the White Herb item. All in all, MAGCARGO's mediocre base stats are more than made up for by its great ability and very impressive move pool, and it is too often forgotten given what it is capable of. Coming in the 9th spot is ARCANINE, a first-generation pure fire type. ARCANINE is currently in the underused or UU tier in competitive battling, but I could definitely see this thing doing well in overused. Its pure fire typing grants it resistance to bug, fairy, fire, grass, ice, and steel, and makes it weak to only ground, rock, and water, 6 resistances and 3 weaknesses. ARCANINE's base stats are simply incredible. Its 2 defenses are 80, and everything else is 90 or above, with a great 100 in attack for an unbelievable total of 550. ARCANINE has 2 great abilities in Flash Fire, which grants it an immunity to fire and raises the power of its fire-type moves by 50% if it is hit by one, and Intimidate, which instantly lowers the opponent's attack by 1 stage when ARCANINE is switched in, which is incredibly useful. ARCANINE's move pool is amazing as well. It, combined with ARCANINE's base stats, even allow it to utilize a defensive set, with Morning Sun, a very valuable move that heals half of ARCANINE's HP when used, which is great in combination with Leftovers, Will-O-Wisp or Toxic to burn or poison the target, Flare Blitz as a super powerful stab fire move, Extreme Speed as one of the best priority moves in the game, or Roar to switch the opponent out. ARCANINE also works really well offensively, adding the Electric Wild Charge into the mix, which helps with dealing with super effective water Pokemon, and the fighting type Close Combat for coverage against super effective rock Pokemon, or Crunch for varied coverage. ARCANINE's great typing, phenomenal base stats, expansive move pool, recovery, and priority capabilities make it a prime candidate for moving up to the OU tier one day. Landing at number 8 is DELPHOX, a 6th generation fire and psychic type and the fire starter Pokemon from Kalos. DELPHOX currently sits in the never used or NU tier in competitive battling, the 2nd lowest tier of them all, something which is very surprising to me. Its typing allows it to resist fairy, fighting, fire, grass, ice, psychic, and steel, and makes it weak to dark, ghost, ground, rock, and water, meaning 7 resistances and 5 weaknesses. DELPHOX's base stats are solid, with its most notable being a massive 114 in special attack, 100 in special defense, and a fast 104 in speed, for a great total of 534. DELPHOX's best ability is Blaze, which boosts the power of its fire-type moves by 50% when its HP is at 1/3 or less. DELPHOX has quite a great move pool as well, with boosting capabilities and great coverage. In this moveset, DELPHOX uses Calm Mind, which raises both its special attack and special defense, Fire Blast, a powerful stab fire move that can become Infernal Overdrive with 180 base power when using the Firium Z crystal, Psyshock, a stab psychic move, and Grass Knot, which is great for taking out super effective ground and rock types. With great base stats, a solid ability, and great move coverage and the potential for boosting its stats, it's a wonder how DELPHOX got to be in such a low tier, and it is very underrated. Stomping in at number 7 is MAGMORTAR, a 4th generation pure fire type. MAGMORTAR is currently in the PU tier, once again the worst tier in competitive battling, and this is unfathomable to me. MAGMORTAR's typing gives it the same 6 resistances and 3 weaknesses as ARCANINE. Its base stats are simply amazing, and most notably include a terrifying 125 in special attack, 95 in attack, and 95 in special defense, with an excellent total of 540. Both of MAGMORTAR's abilities are pretty good, and include Flame Body, which has a 30% chance to burn the foe if MAGMORTAR is hit with a contact move, and Vital Spirit, which prevents MAGMORTAR from being put to sleep. MAGMORTAR's move pool is also quite good, since it has a lot of coverage. In this set, MAGMORTAR uses an Assault Vest, which increases its special defense by 50%, but MAGMORTAR can only use attacking moves. MAGMORTAR has Stab Fire Blast, Thunderbolt for taking care of those super effective water types, Hidden Power Ice for taking care of super effective grass types, Focus Blast or Earthquake for those pesky super effective rock types, and Flame Charge, a stab 50 base power fire move that gives MAGMORTAR a much needed speed boost every time it is used. It seems unreal to me that MAGMORTAR is at the lowest end of the tier list. Even its base stats alone are super high, and are then coupled with great ability options and great coverage, which warrant more use for it in the future. Jumping into the mix at number 6 is INFERNAPE, a 4th generation fire and fighting type. INFERNAPE is currently in the underused tier. Back in the Gen 4 days, INFERNAPE used to be an overused beast, but recently has fallen out of use, and I'm not quite sure why. INFERNAPE's typing allows it to strongly resist Bug, resist Dark, Fire, Grass, Ice, and Steel normally, and makes it weak to Flying, Ground, Psychic, and Water. INFERNAPE's base stats are incredible, with its attack, special attack, and speed all being 104 or higher, and its defensive stats being 71 or higher, for a high total of 534. INFERNAPE has 2 great abilities: Blaze, which boosts the power of fire-type moves by 50% when its HP is at 1/3 or less, and Iron Fist, which increases the power of all punching moves by 20%. INFERNAPE's move pool is amazing and complements its base stats super well. INFERNAPE has the rare quality of being able to pull off a mixed attacker moveset, meaning it uses both physical and special attacks, which have the capability to take down both physically defensive and specially defensive Pokemon. In this moveset, INFERNAPE uses Stab Overheat or Fire Blast, Stab Close Combat, Grass Knot to take down the ground and water types it is weak to, and either Stab Mach Punch, which is a great priority move, or the Poison type Gunk Shot for fairies. INFERNAPE's solid base stats, ability, move pool, and its very unique role as a mixed attacker could definitely find a special place in OU, and it is therefore underrated. Sprinting in at number 5, the halfway mark, we have Rapidash, a 1st generation pure fire type. Rapidash is currently in the PU tier of competitive battling, the lowest tier in existence. Rapidash's typing gives it the same 6 resistances and 3 weaknesses as the earlier pure fire types. Rapidash's base stats give it an awesome 105 in speed and 100 in attack, making it a fast physical sweeper with 500 base stats in total. Rapidash's best abilities are Flame Body, which has a 30% chance to burn the foe if it uses a contact move against Rapidash, and Flash Fire, which gives Rapidash an immunity to fire and raises the power of its fire moves by 50% if it is hit by one. Rapidash runs a similar offensive moveset to ARCANINE, with Flare Blitz, Wild Charge for water types, and Morning Sun to heal its health by 50%, but it also has access to Will-O-Wisp to burn the opponent. Rapidash can alternatively use Drill Run, which helps against super effective rock types that threaten it. Rapidash is a pretty fast and powerful physical sweeper with a choice between 2 decent abilities and with passable defenses that certainly make it good enough to surpass the worst tier. Blazing in at number 4 is TYPHLOSION, a 2nd generation pure fire type starter Pokemon from Johto. TYPHLOSION currently stands in the rarely used or RU tier of competitive battling and has the same 6 resistances and 3 weaknesses as Rapidash. Typhlosion's base stats are well-rounded, with all of them being 78 or higher, and an unreal 109 in special attack and 100 in speed, with a base stat total of 534, making it a great special sweeper. Typhlosion has two great abilities in the form of Blaze and Flash Fire, which increase its power at low health and when it is hit by a fire move, respectively. Typhlosion has a really great move pool that gives it great utility in a number of situations. In this moveset, Typhlosion makes use of Sunny Day, which increases the power of its fire-type moves and decreases the power of super effective water-type moves against it for 5 turns. It also uses Stab Eruption, which can become the Z-move Infernal Overdrive with 200 base power. The Grass-type 120 base power Solar Beam also becomes a 1-turn move in the sun, perfect for taking care of water, rock, and ground types that are super effective against Typhlosion. Finally, Focus Blast provides additional coverage and is a powerful fighting move at 120 base power. Imagine this scenario for a second. Typhlosion is switched in on a fire move, which powers up its own fire-type moves by 50% due to Flash Fire. While the opponent is then switching out, Typhlosion uses Sunny Day, which powers up its fire-type moves even more. Then, Typhlosion uses its 200 base power Stab Z move Infernal Overdrive with its 109 base special attack stat, or surprises the opponent with Solar Beam to take care of a switched in water, ground, or rock type. I tried this strategy out even in the UU tier and it was pretty easy to pull off. This thing is an absolute monster. Coming in at number 3 for the bronze medal is Ninetales, a first generation pure fire type. Ninetales is in the PU tier, the lowest tier that there is. Also being pure fire type, it has the same 6 resistances and 3 weaknesses as Typhlosion. Ninetales' base stats are impressive overall, with none of them being below 73, and its highest being its special defense and speed, both at a strong 100, with a base stat total of 505. While Ninetales has a great ability in Flash Fire, it has an even better one in Drought, which summons the sun automatically and instantly raises its fire-type moves and weakens water-type moves. Drought works amazingly well with this moveset because it strengthens Fire Blast, which can be powered up further by turning it into a Z move, and makes Solar Beam a 1-turn move. Ninetales also has Psyshock, an 80 power special psychic move that uses the opponent's physical defense to calculate damage, which helps target more physically oriented Pokemon that Ninetales would otherwise not be able to hit hard. Ninetales also has valuable access to Nasty Plot, which can increase the already high power of its move by 2 stages. Alternatively, Ninetales can use Stab Flame Charge to hurt the opponent and raise its already high speed, or Will-O-Wisp to burn the opponent. With the automatic ability to summon the sun and power up its move and weaken super effective water type moves against it, good type coverage, solid base stats, and access to Nasty Plot, Ninetales undoubtedly deserves to be used in a higher tier than the worst one. Running in at number 2 for the silver is FLAREON, a first generation pure fire type evolution. FLAREON is currently in the PU tier, once again the very worst tier of the competitive battling tiers. FLAREON is often laughed at as being one of, if not the worst evolution, especially of the original 3, and is often considered to be useless in battles. FLAREON's fire typing gives it the same 6 resistances and 3 weaknesses as Ninetales and the other pure fire types. FLAREON's base stats are actually pretty cool. While its HP, physical defense, and speed are fairly mediocre, it has an astounding 130 in attack, 110 in special defense, and 95 in special attack, for a rather high total of 525. FLAREON's abilities are also amazing. It has Flash Fire, which gives it an immunity to fire-type moves, and increases its own fire-type moves by 50% if hit by one, and Guts, which increases its attack power by 50% if it has a status condition such as being poisoned. In this set, FLAREON makes use of a Choice Band and the Flash Fire ability for maximum damage output, and really powerful moves, including Stab Flare Blitz, the Fighting type Superpower to help with super effective rock types, Double Edge, and the priority move Quick Attack. However, here's a set that is a personal favorite of mine. In this set, FLAREON holds a Toxic Orb, which automatically poisons it, activating its 50% boost in power from its Guts ability. FLAREON has Stab Flame Charge so it can boost its mediocre speed to a respectable level. If you switch FLAREON in on a Grass type, for instance, you can use Flame Charge to raise your speed while your opponent switches out, also giving time for your Toxic Orb to activate. Now you can choose to use Superpower, Bite, or Facade. This move is unreal. Flareon already has a 50% boost in power due to the Guts ability, then Facade becomes 140 base power since Flareon has a status condition. All of this in addition to the speed boost. Flareon can sweep pretty darn easily and has a variety of ways that it can be used. It does not belong in the lowest tier and is definitely underrated. And now, coming in the top spot is TORKOAL, a 3rd generation Pokemon and once again a pure fire type. TORKOAL has historically been in either NU or PU, but has just recently been moved up to RU, so it seems some people are starting to realize its potential, but it is certainly not enough. TORKOAL's typing gives it the same 6 resistances and 3 weaknesses as the other pure fire types. Like Flareon, TORKOAL's got some pretty cool base stats. While it has very low speed, the rest of its base stats are 70 or higher and include a beyond amazing 130 in defense, along with 85 in attack and special attack. Like Ninetales, TORKOAL has the amazing Drought ability, which summons the sun as soon as it enters the battle. TORKOAL's move pool is super dynamic and gives it a lot of utility. It has access to Stealth Rocks, a fantastic entry hazard move, Stab Lava Plume with 30% chance to burn, Explosion as a super powerful last resort when TORKOAL's health is low, and Toxic or Will-O-Wisp to poison or burn the opponent and stall them out with TORKOAL's massive defenses. TORKOAL also has access to Rapid Spin, a valuable and rare move that allows it to get rid of any entry hazards on your side of the field. Combine all of this with TORKOAL's Drought ability to weaken water moves and strengthen its fire moves, and a Heat Rock to make the sun last for a whole 8 turns, and you've got one resilient and dynamic Pokemon that is sure to cause some trouble for your opponent. It's time to take a look at our 3 honorable mentions. First, we've got Turtonator, whose high defenses, great move pool, and good typing aren't quite able to make up for its devastating speed and a lack of useful ability. Next, we've got Mega Camerupt, the first Mega to be featured in this series. Mega Camerupt has incredible typing and phenomenal stats, but it has terrible speed and a rather shallow move pool, and is only really underrated for it being a Mega, so it didn't quite make the list. Finally, we've got, yeah, this will surprise some people, Entei. With amazing stats and a move pool that includes the likes of Sacred Fire and Extreme Speed, it is surprising that it is only in the UU tier, but as a legendary, it would kind of be hard for me to claim this is a super underrated Pokemon, and therefore it comes just off our list. Well, that about does it for this video, everyone. If you liked it and think my content is enjoyable and deserving of it, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. If you haven't already, I highly recommend you check out my last top 10, the top 10 most underrated grass-type Pokemon. As always, leave your comments down below about your thoughts on this list, and I will see you guys next time.